This is Drop In Drop Out, the weekly podcast where a mix of gamers come together to talk all about video games. Today, not tonight, we are breaking down last night's Game Awards. We're going to be talking about the winners, the losers, the announcements, what wasn't there, and of course, Miss Piggy. I'm your host, Patrick. Dropping in this week, Jerica, aka Jerkachu. Jerica, how you doing?
Doing phenomenal. I have my coffee. I have my Red Bull
Whoa.
from last night. I guess if I want to keep sipping on that. And then, of course, last but not least, water. Just trying to drink more of that. So I'm
You're
good.
the most
Gotta
hydrated
be
person I
hydrated.
know. I love it, Jerica.
Trying.
Also dropping in this week, you can see him from a mile away with that fucking head of his, Jake twitching.
Wow.
Jesus fucking Christ. Listen, I need to take this opportunity to cheers. Jerica, bring it up. The day old Red Bull, please, is
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
my choice
That's it.
here. I think it'd be a delicious way to ring in the next day here for our first ever daytime Dido podcast. Is that right?
I think
Yeah.
so, that I can
I'll
think
take a
of.
sip of it. Cheers.
It's not that bad.
I've
Well,
Kayla in the
no.
chat catching strays at noon is crazy. Oh no, I have the giggles. This isn't good. Gamers, we are here to break down, as I said, the Game Awards from last night. And typically, if you're around here often, which I think so far only Estemon's in the chat, first time chatter, which we got from the French Dip Design, friend of the show, Cam, found us by way of Cam. You guys know how we do it here. Typically Thursday nights over on twitch.tv/drop in drop out pod. But today, there was no way that we were going to record this next week, and this was kind of the only time that worked, so we're doing it. But here's the thing: there's more than just the podcast we're doing right now that we want to talk about, because next week, Thursday the 18th, right here, well, not right here, but on youtube.com/at drop in drop out pod, we are dropping our Secret Santa special. All of us have been assigned by Secret Santa, which is being run by Josh, the homie, High Score Weekly. We're all going to be playing a game for somebody else in the company as a way to say, Merry Christmas. Here's something you love, and I'm going to try to love it too. So it's going to be a nice little Christmas fun extravaganza we're doing on the 18th. And then the following week on Christmas Day, we are dropping the Ennies, which is our own awards show where all of the categories are going to be very unique, very, very fun, and very, very silly. So that's going to be dropping on Christmas Day. But the biggest night in gaming happened last night, the Game Awards, which is why we are here. Before we really jump into the winners, the announcements, etc., high level check-in. Jerica, what did you think about last night's Game Awards?
I think we sort of talked about it briefly after wrapping up, and I didn't seem as hot on it if you go back and watch that footage. But after getting some sleep and really going through like the list of games and counting like how many that I was interested in, it was a majority. So I have to go sort of, I think the ending, the last game that's shown will always affect my overall ranking. I don't want that to happen. So it's good that we went to sleep and we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
Um, so I think overall though, like if they could have ended with a game that was a bigger bang at the end, no knock on High Rule or whatever it's called, High Ground, whatever it's called, not High Rule.
High ground.
High guard.
High Guard, thank you. No knock on that. Like I think that's going to be something interesting to play, but it was just the worst last thing to end on. With all that being said, though, I'm at a 7.
Okay.
For the Game Awards. We're ranking it out of 10 here.
I like that. Yeah, let's do it out of 10. So 7 for Jerica. JT, how about you?
I'm at like I'm going to give it an 8, and it's because I give it a 7 for myself and a 9 for other people, where if you are the person who is like a big fan of like just a couple more games that I'm a fan of, you're probably absolutely eating right now. Like if I was a fucking weirdo who loved gory shit and bones breaking and skin peeling off, I would have had the best show of my life, but I'm not.
Sure.
So I give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm somewhere like right between both of you, where when the show ended last night, I was like, that wasn't a very good Game Awards, was it? But then I looked at the list of the announcements, and I've been like highlighting throughout the night things that really jumped out to me. And there was like 9 things on the list. It just so happened that the 9 things were like the first half of the show. So I just fell into this like sludgy period of like I just don't care about like anything I've seen for the last hour. So that really colored how I felt at the end. So yeah, I think more like a 7.5 for me. Maybe parts of it were an 8. And like Heroic Headgear in the chat couldn't agree more. If they ended with FOTOR, Fate of the Old Republic, I probably would have given the
Yes.
show a 9. Like but it's that final moment really carries so much weight, I think. Even though in a funny way, like I can't tell you what last year's show ended on, but at least for this moment that we're talking about, it felt like it ended on kind of a dud. But
It
Intergalactic?
was Intergalactic. Yeah,
that's right. It was Intergalactic, which
Okami
was a
and
hype
then
as shit.
Intergalactic. So now
That's
they've
right.
already messed me up. I feel like there should be 2 more things at the end now, and
Right.
we didn't get that.
Gotcha. Rabbit gives it a 6.7. Interesting. Not a 6.9 or a 69.
Yeah.
Feel much better. Thank you, Rabbit. I'm usually the one that ranks everything super low, so I appreciate that you're lower than me. I was
love
trying to
that.
be a little bit more gracious with it.
Sure. And then Kayla saying 8.5, maybe a 9. How about that? Noah in the chat also saying, interestingly, I was really high on that last game. I think there's maybe too many people looking at the game as if it's the typical TGA ending announcement that we see nothing else for years. That is a fair point where there is a benefit, which we'll talk about the announcements more later, but ending the show with something that comes out in like 2 months or something is a strong way to end in its own way. Yeah, for sure. Well, let's jump into the first chunk of our show, which is going to be breaking down the winners from last night. We're going to do this in a couple parts. We're going to go through each of the awards, talk about who won the award, and then at the end we'll circle back and see how did we fare, including you, the audience, on predicting winners about like 4 or 5 weeks ago when we did the predictions for who would win the Game Awards as well. I mean, the number one story of the night, Expedition 33 won 9 of the 10 awards it was nominated for. So we're going to be talking about that game. We could talk about it a lot at every category, or we can talk about it right now in terms of Expedition 33 and kind of breeze through to some extent. I think there's some that I'll still want to talk about for Expedition 33 in terms of the ones that it won. But at a high level, obviously the big winner won Game of the Year. Jake, starting with you, how did you walk away last night with a 9-win Expedition 33 run?
I think I prepped myself for it pretty well, so it didn't sting that much in the moment. And it's not just because like Expedition 33 didn't end up being my cup of tea, but I was challenged on this standpoint too, as far as it being like a little bit uninteresting watching the same people accept every single award, and they spread the wealth. There were different people on the stage and whatnot, but seeing something clean up like that is mostly unheard of for the Game Awards. The closest thing that you can think of is like Return of the King at the Oscars in 2003, and did that rub me the wrong way too? I don't know. I was a child, but this was definitely a little bit more, a little bit less interesting than I would have liked my Game Awards to be. And with the Expedition 33 being at fault for that, but what are you going to fault them for making an incredible game? I don't think you're allowed to do that, even though I do it all the time.
Sure. What about you, Jerica?
I mean, it was, I don't think we were talking about this earlier last night. Like, I don't think it's going to happen often.
Yeah.
So it just sort of sucked that when this game came out, there was also just a whole lot of awesome other games that came out this year. But nothing's going to top it because I truly think like it deserved all those awards. It did. And then, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it was a good chunk of a lot of people's tea, including people that don't normally play these games.
For sure.
Or this type of RPG. So I definitely think it was warranted, but maybe it would have been a better mix of things with them going up and winning all the awards with like maybe some other like better announcements spaced out between it. I don't know, that kept us engaged. We had Evanescence. Normally we have like other performers, right? Like I feel like there's usually, this Game Awards is very thin compared to other years in terms of like just the stuff that we're watching on screen.
Sure.
Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. Maybe it felt like they're on the stage a lot because there was less in between.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there was less of that in between stuff. But granted, I did go pee when I saw the demon come out of hell with Diablo. So maybe that took longer than I thought.
Yeah.
And I hope the demon didn't come out of hell when you were peeing either.
I think it did,
Oh
which
no.
that's cool with me. That's a cool power.
Oh no.
Uh, but yeah, like it
Yeah.
was fine. Like I don't think I'm curious to see if this ever happens again, but they did deserve all the awards. It just sucks
Sure.
that Death Stranding 2 got nothing, and it was
Yeah.
probably my game of the year.
Here's my thing. It's the kind of thing where like I've been on this podcast and other podcasts and streams talking, not I wouldn't say I talk shit about Expedition 33. I just think it's a little overhyped. I think it's a little overrated. I think it's a great video game. I don't know that it's generational, as Noah put in the chat earlier. However, I do think it is very cool that there is a game that this many people are excited about, that got this much praise and this much like accolade, this many accolades in a single night, for the history of it all. Of like, now we can say in the future, will there be a game that okay, it's been nominated for 10 awards. Can it actually win all 10 and do better than Expedition 33? There's a new piece of that history now that we get to talk about in the industry, which I think is fun. But there
And
is
also
this.
like
Okay, go ahead.
a game made by like 30 people that
Sure.
won that many awards. Like that's in itself like huge. And I don't
Yeah,
know if
and like
that combination of thing will never, I don't know if it'll ever happen again.
for sure. And like we were talking a little bit on stream in the reaction of like, in a way, for a company to hit this in the future, it has to be their first game for debut indie. It has to be indie to also be indie, because just to be even in this many number of categories, like there's only so many categories that you can be in. So it might never be done again, which I think is like a fun thing to think about. But I do, when there is an awards show in which one thing, whether it's movies, shows, music, games, wins everything, it does make me a little disappointed for the lack of representation of games that I think deserve also getting praise on this big of a stage, right? It's like, sure, award shows, who fucking cares about them? But like, if Blueprints had won something last night, all of a sudden 80 million people watching get to learn a little bit more about Blueprints, and maybe that's a game that looks cool to them and they get to play. Same with Death Stranding. Like, sure, they saw trailers throughout the night, but to actually see it win something, I think means more. Whereas for so many people, it's just like, oh, Expedition 33 again, Expedition 33 again, etc. So I'm kind of on both sides of the coin for that.
I wonder
Which
if they
was
truly
interesting.
went to like all of us just voting and not having like an official jurors, like because they have like the other awards for that.
No.
You don't think so?
Wuthering Waves, dude.
Yeah, Wuthering Waves won
That's
that.
how you end up with Wuthering Waves.
Maybe
Yeah.
Is the
you structure it because like that. I'm sure, like obviously, that is a title that maybe us here in the United States don't play a lot of. I don't think so. I'm not too familiar with that, but like maybe if you took voting like from areas of the world, like I think that could be done. Like I think that game won strictly because of, it's not a popular game here, but it is popular somewhere else.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's super popular here, but none of us are playing it. But I don't know. I don't know what the solve would be. I know we talk about this, I
Yeah.
feel like every year. Like, what's the solve for when we don't have like a blueprint like to get put on a pedestal somewhere? Because it deserves something, but I don't know what the
Yeah.
solve is here for the show.
I'm of the same mind of like I think you make a good point of I want something to change, but I have no idea what the fucking answer is on how to change it. Because I'm also of the mind of like, if your game wins Game of the Year and it was an indie and it was your debut indie, then you by default should win all three of those categories because you have made the best game that fits into all of those categories. But that doesn't allow you to spread the wealth, and there's no way for the panel of jurors to know results or know what direction people are voting in, because how many people are going to have the same mentality of like, oh, well, I'll vote for Hades 2 here, so maybe it takes one. But then Hades 2 just gets a couple stray votes in this category and that category. And I don't think that there is a clean answer or a way to do it. And sometimes you're just going to have runaway victories like this. So I'm trying my best not to just dwell on that, even as upsetting as it is to me personally.
No, for sure. And like, there's this kind of larger conversation that has been happening for so long in like movies and TV and music of like, are award shows at their heart bad in like pitting art against each other to say which one is best, which one is better? But it's like, it's a fun thing to do. It drives engagement. It gets people excited. Like, so I don't, that's like a whole different conversation, but it's, it's a part of it, which I think is interesting. Shall we jump into the winners? of individual categories, my friends, my babies.
Rattle them off.
We start with most anticipated, which was, of course, Grand Theft Auto 6. I think we all probably saw this coming from a mile away. Grand Theft Auto 6, also something that we talked about in the predictions, which I'll have a result for later as well. After that was Best Adaptation. I'm actually not going fully in order. This is just the order of my own sheet. Best Adaptation went to The Last of Us Season 2. Which I was a little surprised by. Like, in hindsight, I guess maybe not as surprised, but I think just because of how much criticism the show got, I didn't expect it to win last night, but it did, which is interesting. Any thoughts on either of those two, anticipated or adaptation?
Uninteresting category this year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiplayer game went to Arc Raiders, which the majority of us predicted it would be Arc Raiders. I didn't. I took the L on that one. Jake, have you played Arc Raiders? I know Jerica has.
No, I'm still very interested in it, but I think that this was a real good example. I know we talk about recency bias all the time, but I feel like Arc Raiders won this one because judging happened at the absolute peak pinnacle of its like rising star, which is now also fading, which is not to say that it's bad or anything like that, but it's just like the video game news cycle. No one's talked about Arc Raiders in the headlines for 10 days, and that's just how the world works. But when people were voting, it was Arc Raiders madness, and I think it got its nod, which is, I mean, honestly, good for Arc Raiders.
Sure.
Did any other games like it come out this year? Like, I'm not really
like it in that like extraction shooter, or like it in what way? I don't know. I don't know the genre enough. Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, no one's made extraction fun, and they did, so maybe that's part of it too. Like, just finally, like, I personally played I played a little marathon, but I didn't talk about it for days on end.
Sure.
But I've also played Art Raiders, so I still don't see the appeal of extraction, but my Destiny friends keep saying, "Please play with us, we'll show you." So maybe I'll return here with some answers.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I will ever play Arc Raiders, but I hear it's very good. People in the chat are popping off Rabbit, Noah, Kayla, so it has its fans.
Me and Josh and Kayla like suck at it. We suck.
Nice.
We did really good at dying. There's a dying category. We won.
Okay. Best at dying, Jerica, Josh, and Kayla.
Yep.
Best sports game, Mario Kart World. Sports and racing, I guess, technically is the category. Mario Kart World took that home, which is the kind of thing where it's like, I think we all saw Mario Kart World coming as well. And it's nice to see Mario Kart get some loving, even though some of us were a little disappointed in general with the game. But also maybe that's my own recency bias for how fun the Mario Kart World Invitational was the other night. And then, the continued summing of college football needs studying, as Noah says in the chat. Next up, I'm skipping one. Sim and Strategy went to Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, which is a game I really got to actually play. I have it. I just haven't played it yet. But Jake, how far did you get in Ivalice Chronicles?
Yeah, I got like 13 hours into it. I liked it fine. I fell off. I'm not looking for a top-down isometric view strategy game at the moment, but when I want one, that is exactly where I'll go now, where up until this point, I probably would have headed back to like Fire Emblem 3 Houses would have been my pick.
Yeah. There is not, it's not that this hasn't happened before, a remake winning a game award. But like in the chat, Noah and Kayla saying 2 Point Museum snubbed. How do you guys feel about remakes winning on a stage like this, something that has been a known quantity for X number of years, beating out a new thing like a 2 Point, The Alters, etc.?
Yeah, it shouldn't be here. I don't think remakes have a spot in a category. It's just cool to see how a studio can rebuild a game. It's very neat, but like you're just baking, you're just washing the hair,
Sure.
Give it a new haircut. I don't think it should be in a category.
I agree with Jerica. However, I think it should be here because there's just too blurred of a line of what will exclude and what will allow in. after a certain point of like what then we get into that terrible conversation of this is a whole podcast of like what's a remake and what's a remaster, and is this enough of a coat of paint and they add enough things, and it's like, well, Tony Hawk's 3+4 is technically 2 games and additional content,
Sure.
or Metal Gear Solid Delta doesn't use the same engine and also it's third person, or it can get so fucked so fast that I feel like it's a necessary evil at this point, unfortunately.
I think we should go easy or make it easy. No remasters, no remakes at all.
I
Like
feel like
nothing.
the easy thing from my perspective,
Maybe added content a whole lot that like changes how the game is played. Like
yeah.
maybe then I don't
Because
know. I
that's the
don't think
thing. It's like there have been times, like I feel like Resident Evil 4 added enough. It really, in a lot of ways, feels like a different game than the original. But I feel like the easy thing, like Cognitive Clip says, the very first Game Awards, they had a remaster remake category and they just never brought it back. I feel like that's the easy
yeah, that's a
answer
solve.
is because Noah also making a good point. It disregards the work that goes into these projects, because especially a remake, if you're rebuilding it from the ground up, sure, maybe there's not as much like creative new creative input being put into it because you're remaking something that has already been made, but it's also like it's you're making new assets, you're making new this and new that, etc., etc. But I feel like, yeah, the easiest answer is just put it in its own category. Now sure,
Yep.
it'll be 5 games of totally different styles against each other, but that's how the Game Award, like the Game of the Year, is like. So it's not.
They're getting paid by making a game that's finally remade, that no one, like a lot of people like me, that if they didn't play it, this is when they're hopping in. So they're making money. They're getting what they wanted from it. They
Sure.
don't need an award at the Game Awards. But I think, yeah, the solve would be if they got anything like a whole category. Yeah, they
Yeah.
need to bring that back.
Because I
Jerica,
don't
what
know.
do they do about
Sorry.
what do they do about Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I don't think it's okay. That is where it gets tricky.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
trickiest one of all of them,
But I think
because
that's where no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just
to
because of like what I think is this is no longer a spoiler anymore. The statute of limitations has been lifted. Final Fantasy VII Remake is not a remake; it is a sequel. You know, and even though it follows the same beats, the thing that makes it the hardest to put into this category is that in the title it says fucking remake,
Sure.
which is
I think they did that
a
probably
nightmare.
to try to sell it, maybe, like, and finally say, "Hey, we're doing this." But yeah, I think that's a whole alternate reality situation.
It's an adaptation.
I know.
If anything, put it in the best adaptation category.
I think that's a very I think that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how, like, in Hollywood, a remake of a movie is often called an adaptation because you're adapting the original version. So it's like that could best adaptation video game is an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I think that we would maybe struggle to fill the category some years.
Maybe
we have it when we need it. You know, why don't we have a category when we got it if we need it?
Or they do it the way other shows do it. Like sometimes for the Emmys, it's like just Bowen Yang against another SNL actor, and that's the whole category because those are the only people that qualify for best supporting actor in a fucking scripted comedy special, like whatever the fucking category is. So I feel like that is also, because I don't know how video games do it compared to other industries, but other industries typically choose the category they want to be considered for, and then that industry's academy says, okay, here's the 97 things that want to be considered. We pick these 5. So then a game could decide, am I a remake? Am I not? Et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. Maybe it's overcomplicating it. And the truth is, the Game Awards isn't an award show. It's just a commercial that is just has a sheen over some awards as well for all of its announcements. Anyway, back to the awards. I thought that was an interesting conversation. Best family game. Back to the categories just being very loose in their definition. Best family game goes to Donkey Kong Bonanza, which it's like, I'm glad that it got something. I'm glad that Donkey Kong Bonanza can say it is a game of the year or Game Awards winning game. But Lego Party Robbed legit, Noah says in the chat. It's a game I was sifting through our episode where we predicted things, and Jake said, quote, "We really dropped the ball not doing a stream about Lego Party. Maybe we can remedy that before the end of the year." And then we've not talked about it a single time.
Lock it the fuck in. We're doing this. And if it has to be on December 31st, we will do it. We're having a goddamn Lego party.
Let's
4 of
go.
us.
I'm in.
4, minimum 4.
I'm in.
Maximum
I don't know how much the
also
game
4.
costs, but minimum
$30
4,
on
maximum
sale.
4. Best fighting game. I'm actually going to skip this one because I don't. Or chat, remind me. Was it Fatal Fury that won best fighting game? I think.
Yeah.
Because we all got this one wrong. So I've just been going on which of these is green on my spreadsheet, and none of us got it right. So, but yeah, Fatal Fury, whatever that game was, won fighting.
It has Chun-Li in it.
Whoa.
Oh.
If I knew that,
So
I
it's
would.
crazy. You gotta Google it.
Gotta
Okay.
Google it.
Oh, I gotta look. I gotta look at. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I forgot best fighting game happened like right after the Street Fighter cast was all on stage. And because also, I mean, here's another thing. We've talked about this before, not on this show because this is Drop and Dropout's first coverage of the Game Awards, but this whole like, all right, now we're gonna announce 6 awards back to back. In like, and the winner is blank. Next up, and like they don't even get to say anything, whatever. It's like, it's kind of lame, but whatever. Best RPG.
I think this year.
Go ahead.
I think this year they did a decent job of that because it seemed like every single thing that they did in this show was. This is maybe a bigger theory for like the entire show as far as like the pacing goes. But I think this show is the most evident that the pacing was off versus other years. And I believe it's because they waited until they had the results of how many of these fucking things that Expedition 33 won to then space out the show accordingly so that it wasn't 7 acceptance speeches from Expedition 33 in a row, which is why they moved things like the best independent game to the pre-show or rattled off a few in a row, and it always kind of culminated with an Expedition 33 acceptance speech. So I think that might be responsible for some of the issues that we saw this year, or why it might feel a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think it might be a little thrown together because of that.
Yeah.
Spot on. How about that? Jake, here's a question for you. When is going to be the first ever award show at Jake Cella?
Ooh, maybe Jake Botchella will have the answers for you. Who can tell?
I didn't ask, actually. I didn't ask that question. Best action adventure game went to Hollow Knight Silk Song, which I won't say anything about. I'll just say congratulations to the developers
like a fucking
of Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Fart in the wind.
One that I was very happy for, Hades 2 took home Best Action Game. I was glad to see my favorite game of this year get a little something with Best Action Game. These next few, we all completely predicted the exact same things. Best Action Game, Hades 2. Best VR, AR, The Midnight Walk, which Gianni in the Discord was very excited about, which I need to go back and play all the way through. Best mobile game, which I think they pronounced like Umama Masume. Like there was some weird pronunciation happening of that game, but the Horse Girl game won. Best debut indie, Expedition 33, and then best indie, Expedition 33. So those rattling off a few of those there. Any surprises? Or I was a little disappointed that Blueprints didn't take debut indie, but again, I get it. Expedition 33 won all the things, like what you were saying, Jake, earlier. Like if it's game of the year, if it's best independent game, it should probably be best debut indie too, right? So it makes sense. But,
yep.
Next up, community support went to Baldur's Gate 3 for the three-peat. Baldur's Gate 3-peat.
I don't like that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I argued it in my chat, and I want to bring it to the table here. I asked them. I said, what did Baldur's Gate 3 do like for the community this year? Like, what did they put out? What was the content? And they said, big update. One big update. And I said, wow. Okay, how many big updates did Fortnite have this year? And listen, I am like more of a Fortnite fan than most people, but I'm not a huge Fortnite fan. I'm a fan of what Fortnite brings to the table when it comes to community support. Like, it blows my fucking mind how much that game, or like even there's another category that's nominated to like best ongoing game or something, and this is the same thing here. I feel like it should be cleaning up both of these fucking categories because there's no game in the industry that is supported as well as Fortnite. It brings these fucking collabs that are unheard of, that aren't just like visual and cosmetic, but also like gameplay functionality, map changing stuff. They have chapters and seasons, and it's just an unbelievable onslaught of content where if you enjoy Fortnite, there is so much to fucking enjoy. I can't imagine any of these other things holding a goddamn candle to that.
But
Noah's bringing up
Jake,
a good
no, go ahead,
point
Jerica.
with No Man's Sky, by the way. Like, I obviously am not a No Man's Sky player, but I do feel like every year they also bring like a huge update. So if anything, I hear more about Fortnite, obviously, but then I do also see a lot of like way more upfront community support with No Man's Sky than I do Baldur's Gate. Like, I don't remember seeing anything about Baldur's Gate all year. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm aligned with you, Jake. I think
Yeah,
Baldur's
well,
Gate should not have taken this home.
Chad's talking about like microtransactions too. Like, no. You're pressured to buy them. I love spending some money in Fortnite. That is a free to fucking play video game. Like, No Man's Sky has a barrier of entry. You need to buy your way into that. Baldur's Gate 3 has a barrier of entry. You need to buy your way into that. Like, Fortnite is free for the people.
For the people, hashtag. But Jake, I think what you're not considering is that Baldur's Gate 3 has the best narrative that could ever be in a video game. The characters, the world. And the fact that they made that game is enough for me for 3 years to say that's the best ongoing game of all time. Or best community support, not ongoing game. Because, however, to jump to the next category, No Man's Sky did win best ongoing. It just didn't win community support.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it did win something. That one,
Have
it
you
was up
guys
against
seen-
Fortnite and Rivals and a few other things.
Have you guys seen the Kim Kardashian skin that's coming tonight to Fortnite?
No. Is she
No.
wearing that
It is
faux bush underwear?
insane.
God
No,
bless her.
but
Love
it
that you
is.
got it ready, Jake.
It is absolutely baddie patrol. Let me tell
Is
you,
that just
unbelievable. They
is that
made
your
the
background?
first ever. No, well, I just had it handy over here on the right. You
Of course,
see,
handy.
I just dragged and
Oh,
dropped.
Jesus.
But it's the first ever busty Fortnite character, I fear.
For real? That's
I mean,
surprising.
they don't usually be doing
Titties?
women right in that game, to be honest. Like, they got hypersexualized at the beginning of Fortnite, as you can imagine, and they still do, part of the problem. But they then like nerfed everything into the ground. They were like, okay, no more like women with big ass or breasts in our video game, to the point of most of like the men have larger behinds than the women, to try to get like ahead of
Have a
some of that
mix.
toxicity.
Like,
I
let's
think you should
be
have a
realistic.
fucking mix.
There's people like me, and then there's people like Patrick.
Yeah, I'll
Don't
stand
have
up right now.
doesn't run in my family. Not a lot of good genes there. There's a lot
I
of
loved
jokes.
how that just slowly, Jake, you kept trying to get just like, how can I just be as more respectful as I can with all the words I choose from the very beginning to the very
I came
end?
in and helped.
So
Yeah.
fucking hard, dude.
But here's the thing. Kim Kardashian and Fortnite, whatever. Who gives a shit? When you guys get me the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, everybody who's ever been on The Traitors, I'm fucking in on some Fortnite.
That
You
is
know what I'm saying?
brilliant idea, though.
It is
brilliant.
There's no way that Lisa Vanderpump has not been approached to be in Fortnite. I fucking guarantee it. There's no way. But maybe not. Maybe not. Who's to say? Bro really said, get me a gaggle of uninteresting people. You say tomato, tomato. I say tomato, tomato.
Maybe not as much in this, but I hear about it a lot.
Sure. Best impact, whatever, community impact or games for impact. I did a lot of shorthand in this document. Best games for impact went to South of Midnight. Accessibility went to Doom: The Dark Ages. We all got that one wrong. We all guessed South of Midnight for accessibility, since it let you just skip every single battle, which was great. Best performance, another Expedition 33 win for Jennifer English. And then the one category that that Expedition 33 didn't win was best audio, which went to Battlefield 6. I was like, what's the B stand for? B6. B6, Battlefield 6. Pulling the card back a little bit, back to performance. how do we feel about Jennifer English on this one? I mean, I know we are a mixed bag in terms of Expedition 33 on this specific podcast, but did we feel good about that win specifically?
I love yes, I do. I
Yeah.
feel really good. I think the only, like, other potential winner would have been, funny enough, Troy Baker, because
Sure.
I think it takes us obviously, dude's super talented, but just hearing him be Indiana Jones, even though I didn't play the game, I watched all the trailers, I watched gameplay, I'm like, "That is still really fucking talent." That is a
Yeah,
lot of talent, and to do that for the entire game was pretty cool. That's
for
the
sure.
only thing I would and I but I Jennifer deserved to win this one.
For sure. Yeah, there will be a year in the next 5 years, probably is my guess, that Troy Baker gets nominated for like Cooking Mama. Not Cooking Mama actually, but like some game that his performance is fine in. And he wins because the rest of the category isn't that strong. It'll be like the Leonardo DiCaprio getting his Oscar for The Revenant. Of
Yeah.
like, this isn't
And
the
also,
one he probably should have got it for, but he'll
why
get it
the
eventually.
did he not get nominated to be as Higgs?
I
Like,
mean,
what the fuck? 'Cause I
crazy
was like,
snub.
when I played and went through that, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna win for this. He's performance. This will be him." But like,
Yeah.
it sucked that he didn't get recognized for that role.
I agree. I think if he had been nominated for Higgs, it would have actually been a competition with Jennifer English for that. But I think it was always it made the most sense that it was going to be Jennifer English with especially Charlie Cox basically was like, "Hey, I don't want to win this because I only did half of the performance." So,
dude, this guy fucking hates Expedition 33. Every time I see Charlie Cox, he's like, "Yeah, no, haven't had a chance to play it yet." Like he's like, like, "You did such a great day." He's like, "Well, it was really just one day of recording. You should give to the motion capture guy."
Yeah, very good.
Listen, there was sorry, just a segue, but I had an idea in my head, so I'm gonna share it. Like, I really want to see Troy Baker in Higgs costume. Like, I want to see a performance by him on stage, and this character so bad. I really wish we could see that at some point. Like, I need to see him moving around with those hips.
Ooh, for sure. Give me those hips. I think we can burn through basically the rest because actually every single other award it goes to Expedition 33 for score, art direction, narrative, game direction, and game of the year. So in terms of our predictions, if I can get a little drum roll, maybe a little timpani, Jake.
That's the best I got.
That's good enough. Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips, with 20 correct predictions in first place. Jake in second with 18. And we don't have to talk about the rest of the scores compared.
Let's go ahead and get those on there.
Okay, the audience in third with 17, me in fourth with 16, and then Jerica in fifth. We won't say last, in fifth with technically 11, but I gave her 2 because there were 2 that she walked away from, but we all did the exact same thing. So we'll just say she probably would have agreed on those 2. So Jerica with 13.
Don't give me any points. I want to lose like a true loser.
All right, Jerica with 11 points.
Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the record, I would rather be in last than fucking second.
So. Sure. Yeah. Second is pretty embarrassing for as someone who typically wins these things, Jake. Correct. But Jordan on a tear this year with winning competitive categories of drop and drop out. He won a different prediction thing earlier this year. He's about to beat me in Fantasy Critic unless something crazy happens. So year of Luigi, step aside. It's the year of Cognitive Clips.
Don't trust it.
I don't trust it either. I think he's got his grubby grabbers all over this shit. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving on to predictions. This is where there was some juice. Not predictions, sorry, for announcements, but we also made predictions for the announcements. So we're just going to go in order. So there are things obviously we'll burn through, but the night started in the pre-show with a little game called The Free Shepherd. You guys remember this?
Day one. If we get a code for this, send it my way.
Yeah.
Like I've been waiting for my Stray game, but on top of that, like that for the dogs, and I can roam around and herd sheep. Like that is my game. Okay. That could be my game of the year for whenever it comes out.
How about that? It's a herdling like. Says no in the
I
chat.
love that.
I love it.
Yeah. That game is the only beef that I have with that game is that I looked at it and I was like, oh wow, that looks dope. And that's a game that I would expect to be slated for like March, and they were like 2027. I was like, okay.
There were a few of those last night where like they show it
Weird.
and then they say 2027. I'm like, why are you here? Like Mega Man. I was like, why the fuck is Mega Man showing it
Hey,
2 years
well,
in
save it for the
advance?
Mega Man segment.
We'll save it for the Mega Man segment. But after the free shopper, we got Decrepit, a new dark fantasy game that mixes Souls-like combat with old school dungeon crawling. Next. Audio Mech was after that, which was that like Beat Saber looking like shoot 'em up game. And then Pragmata, we got a date for Pragmata coming April 24th,
About time.
2025. I know, I'm pretty surprising that it took this long to get a date, but also good that it's going to be in the first. Is that a quarter? No, April will be Q2 technically. The first third of the year with April. Are either of you excited for Pragmata?
Yeah,
I'm
the
interested.
demo just dropped too.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, I need to hop on. I'll try it out at some point.
For sure.
Okay. After that, we got Bradley the Badger, a debut studio, Day 4 Night Studio. Excuse me, is that? This was written by AI. Bradley the Badger, a 3D platformer starring a cute little badger with stages based on Cyberpunk, Bloodborne, and more. How about that? After that was that weird like zombie anime third-person action game called Stupid Never Dies. I
Oh
didn't
my
really
god, that
pay
was like
attention
a
to that
whole
trailer.
fucking music video. That is like the
There.
ultimate piss break
Yeah,
trailer.
for
Not
sure.
good.
Not
for me.
good. Very not good. But then
I don't want to breeze past Bradley the Badger. That game looks fucking
No.
wild. I don't know what to make of it yet, but there's like dreams like elements in that. Like there are like common themes despite the gameplay changing. And it was pitched as a platformer at first, and then it broke into the Bloodborne thing, and it's like specifically spoofing all of these different video game genres. Hear me out. Without the toilet humor, it's reminding me a lot of fucking Conquer.
ooh,
So I want to see how it goes.
that has me
Cautiously
interested.
optimistic.
Saying that it reminds you of Conquer, because transparently, we were getting last minute predictions from Jerica and Cayman during this trailer, so I didn't really watch it. But Conquer is the phrase to get me fucking in. So
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right, I'm interested. After that, we got, then we got into the proper show, and the very first announcement of the show. I think maybe I'm between this and one other for my most exciting reveal of the night, even though we saw virtually nothing from this but CG, is Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. FOTOR is real. Jerica, what'd you think?
Listen, can we sort of talk about both Star Wars games, like the new Galactic
Sure.
Racer game? and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
at
we
the same
can
time?
the Star Wars segment right now.
I gotta peel back a layer here because I'm freaking the fuck out. Let me tell you, yesterday, like me and Audrey. So can I tell you all a story real quick? Because this will
Please.
make sense. The other night we were just getting ready for bed, and then all of a sudden, you just go down a rabbit hole of things, and then you don't go to bed until like 3 hours later, and it's just all sleep plans ruined. Regardless, I was like, have you ever seen like the old pod racer games? And I think this was spurred on because we're talking about Destiny right now, because there's the Renegades is out. We just beat it and it's got Star Wars shit in it. And I was like, oh, missed opportunity to have sparrows be what you ride in Destiny, like be pod racing. It's like, God, I miss all the pod racing games. So last night I booted up at least the one that came out on PlayStation 2, Revenge. I originally played the pod racing game like on the N64. So the first one, Phantom Menace. Love that game. I'm a big Sebulba fan. And I had thought about Sebulba in a really long time. Sort of forgot about
Yeah.
but when that came out, biggest fan. The movie and the games. Like I want him. He's a cool guy. I want to hang out with him. And so like I'm playing these games with Audrey. I'm like, look at these graphics, and I was still really fucking good at it. Let's bring back pod racing. And I was like, why hasn't there been a proper pod racing game? I know the want is there. Why the fuck? And like, where are the Star Wars games? Like I remember when I was little, like I guess like 10 years of my life, there was like a new Star Wars game every year. Like
Sure.
I feel, and they were decent. Like I feel like even the Phantom Menace played that also in the same night for the PlayStation 1 was actually a great movie game. That had good lightsaber combat for a PS1 title. Still holds up. And I'm like, God, I miss great Star Wars games. We got them all the time. And I was like, at this point, this starts blending. We talk about KOTOR because like I've never played, and it's apparently one of Jennifer Hale's best performances. BioWare's got their name tied to it. Like, I have never played it, and I'm like, I try to go back to it, and it's just too old now. Like, I can't do it. And I'm
It's
like,
an old game for sure.
when am I finally gonna play? Where I want to be able to play. Where is that game? Where's the remake? Is that ever gonna happen? I'm like, shit. At this point, and I'm talking to Audrey. I'm looking at her directly. She can quote me. I'm like, there just needs to be a new Knights of the Old Republic. This whole conversation. Then we watched Phantom Menace a little bit. A lot of weird shit. We had a big Star Wars night, and we're not huge Star Wars fans. It was just really weird. So to have this and the new Galactic Racer game get announced at the same time was just really fucking weird. Yeah,
Very
this is weird.
strange. I think someone is spying on you. Someone has your shit fucking tapped in. You're in legitimate danger, I think.
Like, I literally played these games, and we talked about this the night before.
Yeah.
It was so fucking weird.
That is
But
very strange.
God, so I was wondering where Casey Hudson went. So like he went to BioWare for like a couple of years. I don't know what he did while he was there. I know he was like the GM, and then he left.
shipped
He like
Anthem.
started to
Yeah, I was about to say he did Anthem, right?
That's what he did while he was there.
he probably
He was just the manager of Bungie. Like that was already
No,
happening over there
yeah,
at
no,
BioWare.
I mean, a true veteran of BioWare though, like his name tied to it, you usually think shit's gonna be fine, unless EA is trying to make them do some shit that they don't really want to do. But he left and had his own studio, and that fell under. So is this after he tried to start his own studio? And where is this?
So
where's
yeah.
is the new KOTOR game beat? Like, who's the studio with this?
Okay,
That's
so
Aspyr,
KOTOR was at
is KOTOR.
Aspire, but I don't even think it's there anymore. The most recent rumors is that version of KOTOR that we saw a trailer for is dead, and it has since
There are
moved
new
hands.
rumors that they are still trying. That Aspyr is still trying.
Oh
with KOTOR.
fuck my life!
Yeah, and then I guess my question is for Casey Hudson. Like, what is the studio that's making the new one? Who's making Fate?
Okay, so I got the
That's where I got
info on
confused.
that. So this is a brand new studio, yes, and you are exactly right. So Casey Hudson shipped Star Wars KOTOR, just the first one, and then they went and he shipped Jade Empire, lead director of both of those games, director of all 3 Mass Effect games, leaves BioWare, comes back as like the general manager or whatever for like 3 years, ships Anthem, leaves, founds a brand new studio that gets like a massive injection or is picked up by NetEase, I think. And he's there for like 4 or 5 years, and the studio folds and is closed. Whatever they were working on never saw the light of day. Yeah, exactly. And then this new studio is, I think, less than like a year and a half old, which is, I checked out their website and literally it's got like 3 people listed and then like a we're hiring button on it. Like I'm the only thing that I'm worried about with this game and that I'm worried about with Galactic Racer is that I am looking at, if we look at KOTOR Remake, Eclipse, 0 Hour, which technically we've seen like a tiny bit of fucking gameplay on. And then we have like the looming, all but confirmed, we know that Jedi Fallen Order is a fucking trilogy, so we have a 3rd one of those that is looming in the background as well. Then we have Fate of the Old Republic and Galactic Racer. We have like 6 or 7 Star Wars games that are just CG at this point. Like
I know.
Can we get a fucking game?
Yeah.
When these all come out, though, holy shit!
When 3 of them come out, it's gonna be crazy.
Star
Wars 1313.
Galactic Racer is next year, though, right?
I feel like Galactic Racer is going to be fine. It seems like so they mentioned, again, this is another new studio actually. I don't know exactly what's going on there, and I'm not sure if they are affiliated with EA, but I think they had mentioned that it was like people that have worked on the Need for Speed series. So I think that the DNA of Galactic Racer is the part of the Criterion team that left EA but had worked on Squadrons before that.
Okay.
And then that kind of emerged as like a support studio for the VR portion of Star Wars Battlefront 2 back before that, which was like also Criterion work. So I'm pretty sure which is honestly like, to hear that there are like old like Burnout and Need for Speed devs that are working on a new fucking Star Wars racing game. I don't know if there's a way to make me more excited for anything.
I'm
very excited for it.
Yeah, Bulba's, he was at the end. So Bulba's got a beard.
Very excited.
God. Hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba indeed. Sabubba bubba.
I can't wait.
Me too.
It's gonna be so long until we can play Fate. of the Old Republic.
Yeah, no, I mean it won't be in the 2020s. There's no shot that this game is in the 2020s.
They tested that abbreviation internally. They're like, some people call it FOTOR, and they're like, yeah, that's fine.
Huh?
Squanky says Sebulba did go on the hunk counter. That's funny.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Ooh.
Also, Heroic, you're saying 2028 at the earliest is actually crazy. 2030 at the earliest is my final answer. Divinity.
That's a good guess.
Not Divinity Original Sin 3, no, but just Divinity. And what is, I think, probably the most grotesque trailer that has ever or will ever be shown at the Game Awards, because not only was there like limbs being ripped from the body, but there was also fucking.
Yep, we saw it.
Dude, there was fucking.
Do we all notice it? Yes.
Oh yeah. Not
there was
bad.
also puking onto a pig.
Yeah, that did, and for some reason, usually
that I liked a lot.
CGI vomit won't get me, but that did make me a little ooh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
funny because it made me a little ooh.
Oh god.
God, dude, let me just soapbox a little bit here on this. I fucking hate. This is not even commentary on the Game Awards. I believe I hate America and the world.
Me too.
Because
Go on.
I fucking despise that I have to sit here and be subjected to like the nastiest, most grotesque like visual shit that could possibly, like, you can't do worse than what I saw in that trailer for like things that shouldn't be shown arguably to people. You know what I mean? Like, that is the most disgusting thing. It's like people, humans burning alive, people puking and peeing and shitting and like just all nasty like skin. It's disgusting. And yet, like, in that entire trailer, we couldn't show a titty. Like, not one boob.
Sure.
No dick. And that's what we're worried about censoring. But we can show all of that other just absolutely grotesque shit. Makes me fucking insane.
Yeah,
it's weird.
We're raising killers, not people that like to have sex. And God forbid.
They're being empowered by how beautiful their bodies are, you know?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't disagree. It's giving purity culture for sure, Caleb. I agree. Well, I'll be playing it. And then who knows what happens to me after that. After that, we got what I thought was one of the biggest snoozes of the evening, 4 Loop. J.J. Abrams came on stage in the most uninterested fashion I've ever seen a human being on a live stage and talked about 4 Loop. Ugh.
I don't think
did
he
this
wanted
do
to
anything
be
for you
there.
guys? I don't think it did.
No. It hurt it, if anything.
The one thing that I had nice to say about that is like, oh, it's nice to see a 4-player multiplayer game, because I have a core 4-person gaming friend group, and I fucking hate the rise of 3-person multiplayer games.
It is tough.
Am I 4?
You can be our 5th.
Nah, I'm not. It's okay.
Okay.
You know, the Coal Mine saying this was his first tedious game. I also thought there was something very funny about this being published by PlayStation and then being like, we're here to change multiplayer games forever. Meanwhile, Concord is still smoking in its ashes.
Let's look at the history.
For sure.
Yeah.
They also said the word, like, I feel like they were contractually obligated to say J.J. Abrams had to mutter the word PlayStation 3 times or he didn't get his fucking bonus or something like that.
For sure. For sure. Next up was one of my most hype announcements of the evening. That, of course, was Coven of the Chicken Foot, Jake. What did you think about this one?
I forgot it existed until now. Coven of the Chicken Foot is a very bad name. I would have called it like Chicken Grandma.
No, I think it's a phenomenal title.
I do like the title.
I don't know if it's gonna hit.
It's good.
It's the Cult of the Lamb fans are going bonkers right now.
Sure. It's giving it's giving Bruce Straley. This is Bruce Straley's game, co-creator of The Last of Us. I was reading someone in the chat, maybe, I don't know, or maybe I'm just having a stroke. I think this looks great. Like, I don't really understand what it is. It seems puzzly, it seems adventure-y, but Grandma and fucking feathery tar man has me absolutely jacked out of my gourd.
Tarman looked vicious at one point too, so it seems like they're having some struggles trying to get along. So I'm curious. I can't wait to see what the story is here. And the gameplay itself looks really good. I love this art style. Whenever I see a game look like this, it's either going to be trash or treasure. Because there's a lot of replications of this, but no, with the Bruce's pedigree, I think it's gonna be really, really fucking good.
For sure. Because we heard about this game a long time ago, but just that a game was being made. We didn't know anything about it until last night. But yeah, Treehorn, it looks like a cell shaded Last Guardian for sure, which is cool. Maybe it'll actually be fun, unlike the Last Guardian.
I believe someone said the last Grandmardian or something like that in my chat.
Yeah, we got a last Baba Yagian or something like that. We got in ours. After
every
that was
time I hear the Last Guardian. Sorry, I think about that thing. Just wanted to say it again. Most realistic butthole I've ever seen in a game. I don't know if y'all looked at it. It's right in front of your face.
Interesting.
Y'all should look at it.
It's
Someone
1:12
designed
p.m. Eastern time on a Friday. I'll pull up that butthole right now on camera.
Yeah.
I've got a really good butthole joke coming up.
Oh, good. Okay. After this, we got Ontos, which is from the developers of Soma, which also a bit on the grotesque side with some of this trailer, but I don't really understand what the game is. It's giving immersive sim, perhaps. This is needs more data, but I am cautiously optimistic for Ontos. Did this do anything for y'all?
People love Soma. Is this the one that had like the woman with like half a body but a whole ass?
I think so.
Maybe.
I think that rings a bell. It sounds like it could be. I started it, but I never got too far. So
yeah, but I know people that love scary shit love Soma.
I know it got really. I feel like it got really good reviews, and I got pulled from
chat.
Will tell me.
Chat, find the woman with half a body but a whole ass, please.
Oh, that's the Forest. You're looking at the Forest 3.
Oh,
trailers.
Good.
I thought you were talking about like in general. It has this in it currently, but in the Game Awards that was Forest 3, which I'm I'll wait till we get to that point.
Yeah.
This was a good little chunk for me of the Game Awards because we had Coven of the Chickenfoot. I was, a little warm on Ontos, and then we got the first look at Leon in Resident Evil Requiem, which has just skyrocketed up my can't wait to play. Not because of Leon, but just I'm remembering that it's like right around the corner, and I fucking love Resident Evil. Jake, I know you're too big of a goo goo gaga baby boy to play Resident Evil Requiem, but Jerica, I know you're excited for this game.
Yeah, that's gonna be our book club game, Kayla. If you're here, that is all we're gonna play that month, or the end of the month, begin the next month.
Hell yeah! Oh, I'm so
can't fucking wait.
Can't fucking wait either. And then after that,
you guys think?
Go ahead.
Do you guys think that they're gonna nail this thing? Because when I hear about what they're going for with this split gameplay situation, I think back to like Resident Evil 6 was the last time they tried that, right? Wasn't that the deal? Like multiple playable protagonists.
I feel like Cayman brought that up too, which was a good point. But I feel like since then they have fixed their problem. I am very confident in them like making this work.
You're right. They're on a hot streak, 7 and 8. For sure.
I think they learned from their mistakes.
I'm also interested. Jeff had a line after. I don't have it in front of me and I don't remember exactly how he said it, but it basically was like, it sounds like Grace will be more of the horror forward, puzzle forward side of the game, and then Leon will be like action forward, which I do think that could be interesting of splitting it up like that, because from what I remember of 6, I played 6 when it first launched and I never played it again, but from what I remember of 6, it didn't necessarily change up gameplay styles across the different playthroughs. It was just different characters with different narrative threads, but it was all just action nonsense for Resident Evil 6. So
I'm down for I don't know, it could work. I think it's really going to work. I think it's going to fucking just crush it. I love that, being able to go back and forth to 2 different play styles. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Very excited. After that, we got Jonathan Blow's next game, Order of the Sinking Star. Jonathan Blow, of course, being the creator of Braid and The Witness. So this is a game that I'm, again, cautiously optimistic about. I liked The Witness a good bit. I didn't think it was like an all-timer, but this, just generally how the game looks interests me. So we'll see how that turns out. But I think, Noah, do you remember, did we get a date for Order of the Sinking Star? I don't think we did, but maybe we did and I missed it. But Order of the Sinking Star, do anything for either of you?
Not
Order
my
of the Stinking Star is what I call it when. Yeah,
Oh,
see,
there it
that's
is.
that's the
There's
payoff
the
on the
butthole
butthole joke.
There's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
butthole joke.
Do you guys remember what Jonathan Blow said about women like a decade ago?
Unfortunately, I do, which is unfortunate.
I don't.
Something
Have
about
no
I think like women are like biologically less interested in playing video games, I believe is the line. Just fucking insane.
Interesting.
He's an insane person.
I'll have to read up on that again before that game comes out. Because I remember there being something, I just didn't remember what he said. So
Yeah.
TBD on if I'm in on Order of the Sinking Star until I hear more about his thoughts.
Stinking, so more like okay.
Okay. But if that is what he said, I fear that's a massive L. After that, we got Exodus, the Mass Effect-y Matthew McConaughey situation. Jake, what are you thinking on that?
I'm really in on that. Like the trailer is a little cookie cutter. The entire game looks a little cookie cutter to me. Like I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, it's some kind of spacey mishmash shit that I've seen in a dozen games that have failed since Mass Effect. But I also feel like they've taken their time with this. Every time I see it, it does look a little bit nicer, a little bit better. And it is hitting the sci-fi notes that I'm looking for in like a single player RPG. I think I got some faith in this one. I feel like it's the kind of game that, regardless of how it reviews, is a day one for me.
Okay.
I think I'm in the same boat. Like every time I see this game, I'm always interested more than you would think. Even with my ability to love even Mass Effect and drama just a smidge. I do love the stylized approach they're taking with like the characters and everything. I feel like that's not done too often with a single player like narrative driven game. So I like how it looks. I am getting to the point though now, like I am play this day one also, but like now I'm like, how many times did it's been at every Game Awards, I feel like. So like, and I feel like it's still far away. What did we get a release date on this one yet or anything?
I think they said 26. Let me double check.
If
but
it's
I don't think we have
finally
a date.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm not
let's
sure.
just scrub ahead to the end of the
I
trailer.
am tired of seeing it over and over again because I feel
early
like
27. So we'll get this in fall of 27.
Right,
Yeah.
early 28.
Yeah.
Correct. Just show it every.
Yeah. The next one, speaking of 2027, this one was one of the biggest head scratchers for me. Dungeons and Dragons Warlock. They bring out Trisha Helfer and they're like, check out a game reveal, the gameplay reveal in 2026. Game releases in 2027. I'm like, what are you doing here? Why are we doing this?
It was random.
But,
I
yeah,
didn't understand. I checked out there during that part.
The other moment of the night that the more I think about it, I think this is the moment of the night for me in terms of a reveal, because it's actually, we have an idea that it will come out at least in next year because they gave us 2026. We'll see if it hits that. Is Control Resonant. This trailer was like just so fucking strong. Like I'm so excited for Control Resonant. Jake, I forget, do you care about Control?
No, not really, but this was a hell of a fucking showing. I feel like this was also the best use of Keely's fucking rigging. What do you call it? You're an actor, Patrick.
Yeah,
what do they call it when you get the people fucking flying in the air all goddamn show?
You could call it a rigging. It's like a fly rig, a fly rail. There's all, but they were flying. It would be the verb. They're flying.
Yeah. I feel like Remedy is the ones who ordered that, and then Jeff got on the phone to everybody and was like, "Hey, just so you guys know, we got the ability to make people fly. If you want to add that." And Divinity was like, "Get a couple of these fuckers into the air."
Yeah, because those things are fucking expensive. So I'm sure, but I mean, it's the Peacock Theater, so I mean, it's like a multi-million-dollar fucking thing,
right?
Like you brought up something too that made me think too, like. I feel like if you've never been involved with Alan Wake or if you've never played Control, does it look your jam? Like I think this game can be more people's jam based on like the combat itself. I think it definitely will appeal to others a little bit more. So it'd be interesting to see like because I think I read like on a press release or something they put out like recently, like something along the lines of this can be an entry point if you've never played. Like I think anyone will be able to pick this up and have a good time. I'm sure they'll have the weird, ambiguous story beats that we're used to from Control. And I'll
Yeah.
also say one last thing. Jesse was not in this trailer
Yeah. Very
at
interesting.
all.
I think
That was a
what's interesting about this one is that I don't know if this is Control 2 or if this is like if they're saving that title for something else, but I hope that they're
that's gonna be
not
interesting.
and they're just telling a different story, because I feel like calling it, to what you're saying as far as like a entry point thing, I feel like calling it Alan Wake 2 probably alienated some potential fans from that game. And that, truth be told, like you should have just called it Alan Wake fucking Village or Alan Wake Requiem, and given people more of an opportunity to jump in without being scared of missing the first one since it was so old and inaccessible. I hope that
Sure.
they don't have the numbers. But what are you saying, Jerica, on that?
So let me correct. Cole Mines was like, yes, her voice was in it. Yes, I should have clarified physically, not in it. Um, I do think that was her voice at the end, but she physically was not in that trailer. Um, but I started going down a rabbit hole with like potential, like I was like, there's a reason why they're not calling it Control 2. There's a reason. There's a reason. It's not Control 2. Um, but I started going off, and my girlfriend in bed last night, she's like, oh, they put out a press release. It is a sequel.
Yeah.
They are
Okay.
calling it a sequel. But I
Yeah.
do agree with your statement there, Jake. It's a little bit more. I think it encourages people to play it when there's not a number 2
I
in the
bet
title.
I
though
think
I won't be surprised if we get Control 2 at some point and it's back to playing as Jesse.
I
Because
can
you
see
know, it
that
could
as
be a
well.
sequel and it just even though it's a sequel it doesn't have to be numbered, right? Because I think I fully understand why they're not putting a 2 on it, because you're playing as her brother and it's a totally different genre, different gameplay style. Like it makes sense. It's really not the
yeah.
Control again. So,
I think the concern
We
going into this is that like the Control Resonant, I think the trademark leaked last week, and people immediately were like, "Oh fuck, what is this? Like a Control like mobile gotcha game spinoff or something like that?" I think that this trailer did a great job of showing that even though this is not Control 2, this is absolutely the next triple A Remedy-verse video game. You know, like this
Yep.
thing looks like it's Big Budge, which is fucking sweet.
I
and
love a big bud.
I love a big budge. I love a big bulge. And
Mm.
I love this idea of playing as Dylan with, and like, because in Control, Dylan is getting all sorts of like fucked up information in his like, from the whatever the
Yeah.
people that are talking to him, that I forget
The
what they're
Bureau.
called because it's been a while. The Bureau. But there's like the big like beings. There was
I
a
thought
name
that's
for
what they
them
were
in the game.
called. Maybe no, it's not. There's a name. There is. Hey, can we have a
Yeah.
show where we talk about what's happening in this trailer? Can we predict stuff like for
Yeah.
our Control
Oh, that'd
freaks
be
one
great.
day soon?
We should,
We got
absolutely
plenty of
yes.
Oh my
time.
god,
So
Control Freaks has to be the name of a podcast already, right? If not,
Control
it's
freaks.
time.
If not, it's time. But I love this idea that he's being given information that his sister is bad and has done bad things and has to go find her. I think is a very fucking hard
So
sell
oh, I
for
can't wait.
what this story is going to be. Very, very, very fucking in on Control Resonant. After this was a slump for me for a little bit, not a long time, a little bit. The board and the former are the main
The boy,
paranatural entities. Thank you.
blah, 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 how is that?
Yeah, there we go. And I love. Let's save it for Control Freaks, the official
Yeah,
Control and Control Resonant podcast. But I
Yeah.
love that when they speak, it's like not speaking, but they are. Oh, it's so fucking good.
it's
Um,
cool.
After that, we got Gang of Dragon, just one dragon. This is Yakuza developer Toshihiro Nagoshi, their first project outside of Sega, and it was that like big boy and fighting and things. I need to see more on Gang of Dragon, but we'll see. And then we got one of the weirdest moments of the night. Not the entire, most of the cast of Street Fighter coming on stage. We got a Street Fighter trailer. Um, and the amount of cocaine that they had taken before they went on that stage was
Mhm.
palpable, with the way Jason Momoa was just walking across that stage back and forth and yelling, and him and the Ryu actor getting in a fight over how to say the name. I was like, this is all very fucking weird. But what did you
Dude,
guys think of the Street Fighter trailer?
Oh, the trailer sucked, but that moment was actually, I think, really dope, man. Like, I feel like it's easy to look at that and be like, what the fuck were they doing? But that makes the Game Awards the Game Awards to me.
Oh,
Like,
for
if you
sure.
don't have,
Yeah.
if like that kind of thing would never happen at the Oscars, and I hope we don't get too far away from that as this show continues. Because, like it or not, and another conversation to have at some point is like, when we were talking about the winners, it's so everyone has their own game of the year, and we give out tons and tons of game of the year awards. But when people ask what was game of the year 2014, people say Dragon Age Inquisition because that's what was given away at the Game Awards 2014 as game of the year. And even though the show is gaining prestige, and I think it gets more and more professional, and we have less and less like snafus, if you will, as we go on, I'm glad that there's still room for bullshit like this because I think it's fun.
Yeah. No, I do too. And I especially, my favorite part of all of this, actually, even though I thought the trailer actually looked decent, it's going to be bad, but like, I think it's going to be good bad. The part that I thought that I liked the most was them talking shit about Mortal Kombat. Like, I like this bringing back the
Oh
rivalry
my god.
between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter as part of their press tour. Someone in a boardroom had the idea that we need to lean into that rivalry again on the press tour. It was very, very good. But there are definitely some annoying fucking personalities in this cast so far. But you know, you get 18
It's
people on
nothing
stage, you
but
can't like all of them.
yeah, I think it's really I like what they're doing
Yeah, I
generally.
don't really. Here's my thing. I don't have a ton of fondness for Street Fighter in my heart. It's like I'm pretty neutral on it, but I've always loved Vega. I've always thought Vega was such a fucking cool character, and I really couldn't care less about Orville Peck. And I just really hope that Orville Peck is a good Vega because so far I don't like the vibe, but I'm willing to be wrong, and I hope that I am wrong because I want Vega to be cool because Vega is my boy. After Street Fighter, we got Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, to which I say I could be a better Batman than whoever is playing Batman. Shots have been
I thought
fired.
the same thing. What if I did? I almost like wanted to comment like, Patrick,
Yeah,
why can't you be Lego Batman?
I'd love to be. I'd love to be.
You should be Lego
Um,
Batman.
I would love to be. Put me in, coach. But after that, we got a couple trailers that I was very hot on. Both the Tomb Raider games, Tomb Raider Catalyst and Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, 1 in 27 and 1 in 26. Very, very excited for Tomb Raider coming back and it not being the super hyper realism. I like what you were saying earlier, Jerica, about Exodus. I like this stylized,
Yeah,
artistic approach
I
as
do not like
opposed
how she
to
looks.
realism. You don't like how she looks, though.
I don't.
What don't you like about it?
I'm gonna be really her face looks weird. I tried looking back at it. The first look at her, which I know like I'm not familiar with these titles. This one's a remake and then they're like it is a game already. Help me understand. Not a big Tomb
Yes.
Raider.
So
Okay.
Fate
I will say
of Atlantis, Legacy of Atlantis is a remake of the original Tomb Raider, or at least a reboot or reimagining, to be determined if it's going to be in our Game Award category for Best Remake last year. We'll see.
Sure.
And then Tomb Raider Catalyst. This is let me just set the picture a little bit even further here. Is that what it seems like? What they're doing is they are doing like a converged timeline or like an all-inclusive timeline where they kind of rebooted Tomb Raider in 2012 or 2013 with that
Right.
new
Yeah.
like Survivor Lara saga of the 3 games, Shadow, Rise, and Tomb Raider reboot. And then before that, the continuity all the way up through like Angel of Darkness and those sequels was pretty much linear, despite like redesigning the character and reimagining a few times and changing some shit up. And it's all been kind of funky, but the origin stories are mostly the same. And I think they're just chalking this whole thing up as like the franchise so far is all canon, it all happened. You fucking worry about it and figure it out. And
Sure.
we're gonna do a brief retelling of that story for this like remake reboot, the retelling of Lara's origin story in Legacy of Atlantis. And Tomb Raider Catalyst is the new furthest in the series of Tomb Raider sequels, fully brand new adventure game that directly references things that happened in the reboot trilogy as well as the original Tomb Raider. So this is kind of like an amalgamation of all the Laras that have existed so far. And she does look
I'm
yassified.
so excited for all of it, and it looks really fun. It's just the first face reveal, just something looked really off, and it really like put a sour taste in my mouth. Like, and I'm not even, I'm not one of those that I'm picky about how the ladies look in video games. Like I love a more realistic looking woman. I love the stylized approach with this. It's just something with her face just looked like just
It
AI.
had an AI sheen to it, for sure, for sure.
I bet they
But
fixed
maybe
this face. I bet it looks different when it ships. And here's the best description that I've heard for the Catalyst one in particular, because I think she kind of looks a little bit better in the Legacy of
yes,
Atlantis one, where she's like a look kind
correct.
of
I
younger
did
and it's
notice it.
even further back. It seems like they took that face and then told AI to make it 20 years older, and then they put a filter on it, like a fucking TikTok filter, is like literally what the Catalyst face looks like.
Okay.
She looks sort of like the
Not
chick
good.
from, and not saying she has an AI face, but her face, the first view of the face looked like that the girl from Stranger Things. Can't think of her name. It was really weird.
Millie Bobby?
Visage look-
11?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's like they
Bobby
used
Brown.
her face to put. You just go back and look. Maybe it's
Jake
just
Bon
me.
Jovi's wife. How about that? Did you know that she was married to John Bon Jovi's son, Jake?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, John Bon Jovi has a son named Jake, and his name is Jake Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi, because that's actually his name, is Bon Jovi. And they're married.
Stop. I don't like any of this.
Yeah. Well, all that to say, I'm excited for Tomb Raider, and
Yes.
in a rare, Patrick actually predicted something. I did predict that we'd get a Tomb Raider remake on Spotlight Games, and I didn't think, I was surprised that actually came true.
Can I one more thing on Tomb Raider? Because the more that I think about it, the more that I think that Tomb Raider, this double feature, is like my favorite thing of the show. And I love the fact that it's 2 games with some like instant gratification here, where one of them is, I think it's smart for when a studio does this, where they kind of get their training wheels by doing like a reboot remake. Like, hey, the framework is there. You get in there, do what this game was, only make it modern and better and cooler. And then they do that successfully, and then they can take all of those skills that they learned and implement them as they're building that first game into that second game and work on the full sequel. It's such a great pipeline. Like, I think Toys for Bob is a great example for like doing the Insane trilogy for Crash Bandicoot and then going and making Crash Bandicoot 4, which is like a perfect platformer. Great way to do things. But my favorite part of all of this shit is not only in Catalyst, but obviously in the remake of Tomb Raider 1, is that we're done with the fucking gritty reboot. And the tone here is magical and whimsical, and it's fucking adventurous, and it's absurd, and she's doing her cool stupid fucking acrobatics up the cliff, and there's dinosaurs and moving mountains. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. Tomb Raider at its baseline is what Uncharted is when it's at its craziest, you know?
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, even my girlfriend was like, "There's dinosaurs in Tomb Raider?" I don't remember because she's also played like the Uncharted. I call them the Uncharted Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. Like I am excited for that. That's gonna be a fun little shift for
sure.
Bennett UA in the chat saying he's gonna buy tickets for the Patrick Batman Jake Bon Jovi buddy cop movie. I'm just saying, me as Batman, Jake Bon Jovi as a 80s rock star buddy cop movie could do fucking numbers.
Oh.
That's an idea that AI couldn't fucking come up with.
Never.
After this, one of Jerica's most exciting things of the night, Forest
Orbitals?
3.
Oh no,
Well,
sorry,
we're almost at Orbitals.
Spoiler alert.
Almost at Orbitals.
Here's the deal with the Forest. I did not know that was the Forest until the very end because I have not beaten Sons of the Forest, which is the sequel, because it's not even it hasn't come to console yet. I've been waiting to play on console because I have other friends that want to play on console, so I've been holding off. But I looked at Audrey. I'm like, okay, well, I need to know how we got to space in the Forest. I don't know if anyone else here in chat plays Forest, but I am such a big fan of this series. It's so weird. I've never really latched on to one of those survival. I don't know what do you call these games? It's like Ark, whatever it is.
Survival. Yeah. I think survival game. Yeah.
It's you're trying to survive.
Crafting.
You're cutting down trees. There's crafting, and at night these evil looking weird things come and try to kill you on an island. But just the fact that it's on an alien planet, it seems very cool. Very cool. It's so out there, and I love the first game so much. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I told Audrey we're playing Sons of the Forest next week on PC. We're doing it.
Okay.
We're doing it.
Even from like an outside perspective, I'm not a big survival horror guy. I do like crafting. Oh, it's the half woman full ass on the screen right now. B-roll enjoyers. I think that this is a cool departure. Like, just as someone who has observed The Forest and Sons of the Forest, which seem like a run-of-the-mill game plus sequel, to see it take such a hard left turn and go like sci-fi and have this weird visual aesthetic and be such a such a drastic departure is so interesting to me. I think that's such a bold step. I'm excited for people that this appeals to. I think this is a really cool reveal.
I think no one thought it was the forest, which was evident that, hey, this change will be interesting.
For sure. Yeah, it was the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I'm excited. And then I learned it's survival. And I'm like, I won't like this game.
I think we could all have a good time. We should play it when
Maybe.
it comes out
We'll try.
together.
Yeah. After this, we got Invincible Versus showing a new character. Elemental is going to be in the Invincible fighting game that I forgot existed. And then after that, Jerica was
Oh,
Orbitals, which
this was my game of the show.
oh my fucking God.
Game of the Game Awards for me. If we can get a code for this, I will be so happy. I need to play this. I will play this multiple times. It's pretty much I have if I was an artist and if I had the skill set of creating really cool shit, like this is my aesthetic. 80s, 90s, early anime mixed with It Takes Two gameplay pretty much playing with someone else. Like this game looks so fucking good. The logo design, everything was speaking to me, the music, and this game will make me turn into a puddle. How much I love it.
Oh yeah.
I hope it's good.
I am so fucking excited for this game. And everything you just said, I just really hope that it's more than just the aesthetic, right? Like I really didn't vibe with Split Fiction, and I liked It Takes Two a good deal, but not as much as the rest of the internet did. But that's the kind of thing for me where it has everything that it could possibly have so far that I want. Now I just need to make sure that the gameplay is good too, because this could be so much fucking fun to play with how good it already looks. So very much keeping an eye on that. Switch 2 exclusive in 2026.
That game looks like somebody watched the Daft Punk One More Time video. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, and then decided to make a game.
There is they blend
it's a celebration
style. I love old anime aesthetic. Like it is my favorite shit. Like it gets me going. Turns me into a pedal.
Oh.
Moist,
very, very moist. I think we can burn through the next like 7 or 8. But stop me. Let's do this. Stop me if you want to talk about any of these. Diablo 4 expansion, Lord of Hatred. We got Deadpool coming to Marvel Rivals. Lenny Kravitz in 007 First Light, which is exciting, but not really much to talk about other than him being hot as fuck at 61 years old on stage. Lord of the Fallen 2 got another look. We saw more Saros. It's still Saros. Nothing that got
delayed.
Saros got fucking delayed. Yeah.
It was supposed to come out on my girlfriend's birthday. So I was like, that's the only reason I remembered it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You get to play a cool game on your birthday. And then I was like, look back, I'm like, they got delayed by a month. Yeah,
not far. I think it was March to April, and it also wasn't mentioned at the Game Awards, but it was mentioned overnight. So a bunch of people, like right after the Game Awards, were like, "Saros coming in April."
Jerica, I didn't believe you, and I apologize. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was already April.
Well, my memory, if we're looking at my track record, usually you don't want to trust me on dates, but that one I remembered.
Okay. Well, if you had said, I'm pretty sure because it was Audrey's birthday, I'd have been like, oh,
I did.
Well, then.
I did.
No, I just want.
But there was a lot.
Okay, so one, I'll be better at believing you, and 2, I'll be better at listening to you. I have a lot to learn, Jerica, and I apologize.
You should.
I should, and I did, and I do.
You should. Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself a spanking once we're off the camera, or maybe I'll do it on camera.
What's the next game, Patrick?
Jake.
Spanking.
We got a game called No Law that I don't really remember, but I remember not being interested in it. We also got Hitman World of Assassination with Mila Jovovich. We got David Harbour revealing Total War Warhammer 40K. And then we got Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief. And then we got Star Wars Galactic Racer.
I'm stopping you.
Okay.
Ace Combat 8, dude, is my sleeper hit. I don't know if I've just been off. I played Ace Combat 4 Blue Ocean Red Fire cover art. I think it's 4. And then 5, which I definitely remember, is like the all silver cover art on, I think, PS3. They take the generational gap there. Both of those are such fucking banger games, and I've fallen off Ace Combat a little bit, but watching this game have like a full first person narrative on the like ship has me so hooked for like a single player campaign playthrough of this game on stream, because it doesn't look like, it looks like it takes itself a little bit too seriously, but it's also very campy. Like, I hope it plays out like a Top Gun or like a Mission Impossible, because
Sure.
these games are known. Like, do you guys know the defining quality like lately of like the last like 3 Ace Combat games? Everybody agrees there's one part of them
And
that's fucking critically acclaimed.
there's
The
I haven't
dogfighting, I
played one in
assume?
years. Yeah.
No, the fucking soundtrack is like the most
Oh.
unbelievable like action movie ass soundtrack ever. And it's so exciting to see this like done up to the nines for like this current generation. I'm super hot on this. Like, this is a day one for me. I hope it makes a
Did it
little
get
bit
a
more of
release
a
date?
splash. What's that?
Did it get a release date, or is it next year?
I think
Let's
it's
see.
just 2027, I want to say.
'Cause I
Or it
Coming
mean,
might be
2026.
2026.
26.
Oh,
it says.
nice. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I have never, even as a kid, I was just never into like jets. So I've just that this kind of game has never been exciting for me. But if we're saying we're hyped, I'll be hyped and I will try Ace Combat
Yeah.
8, especially if it's on Game Pass. But I'll have to be honest, I'm a little disappointed that this isn't a Life of Pi like with the way that this trailer opened up. Stranded
Yeah, for sure.
life raft. Unfortunate, but you know, what can you do? After Ace Combat 8, we got Star Wars Galactic Racer, which we discussed earlier in the show. And then Phantom Blade Zero, the Souls-like being made or published by PlayStation, whatever their involvement is. And here's the thing, I'm pretty loudly not anti-Souls-like. It's not my genre. Sometimes they click for me, sometimes they don't. This is the first Souls-like that I've seen in a while that I'm like, I would actually like to see more of this, please. And maybe I will give this one a shot. Because the trailer last night, I thought looked like, yeah, Hurricane, it do look flashy. But something about the aesthetic, I don't know, I can't pinpoint what it is, but I really liked that trailer. So I am going to keep my eye on Phantom Blade Zero. Did this do either of y'all anything? Nothing.
Nah.
not my cup of tea. My girlfriend though wants
Okay.
to play. And I was like, too
Okay.
bad. I sort of missed a lot of it because me and Caitlin were talking about pooping ourselves. So was that
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we were
which
doing
is
that? Unfortunately, I'm
yep,
so
gonna
sorry.
be a
Not
great
because it
clip.
wasn't uninteresting. We just got off topic, obviously.
No, I am glad you did. There's a fun edit of me just like giggling, thinking about the clip of like, this is going to be funny having them live react to Phantom Blade Zero, but they're just talking about shitting themselves in overalls for 3 straight minutes.
Yes. Never really thought about it till that moment.
Yeah, well, it was good. Last 2 announcements of the night. We have a Mega Man Dual Override, which is the first time in my life, people are going to yell, Noah's going to yell. The first time in my life Mega Man has looked interesting to me, I will say. I like this updated art style for Mega Man, but it's like, yeah, again, why are we showing Mega Man 2 years ahead of time?
I think, okay, here's the one thing that I do like about this is I am glad that they put in that like 10 seconds of what is 100% vertical slice, probably not even fucking gameplay actually, but
Yeah.
at least we saw the vision for that game. There are so many games that we saw tonight that are CG trailer only, title only. Like, we have really no idea what that game is going to look or play like. And at least for Mega Man, we know what they're fucking going for now. And I think that's really exciting and important to do for Mega Man, because every time there's a Mega Man game that's not just like numbered or has like an X and then a number, then we have no fucking idea what is happening. There's a lot of spin-offs in that franchise, and there's a lot of mediocre games, if we're being honest. This looks very much like, hey, this is based off of like the initial Mega Man run of numerical games. Even though it has a new art style and it has a new name, this looks like as traditional as Mega Man can get. There's not another character shown. It's not the X suit. This is fucking Mega Man. And I think that's really dope to see them. Jeff even made a comment about it at the end where he was like, I've been waiting a long time to get like an announcement like that. And it was worth the wait, and Capcom was really intent on showing you guys that little bit of gameplay there, which I think is cool to have that be such a priority for them.
Sure. I don't disagree,
Sure.
and it sounds like something that Jeff has been asking for several years, and they kept saying no. Is kind of what he made it sound like. Noah asks a good question. He says, "Why is D&D Warlock and Mega Man doing gameplay reveal in 26 and game in 27? Oh, what are you doing here in December 2025? But then, yeah, 2030 minimum for the Star Wars game. Not taking shots, but curious what the difference is for you." I think part of it honestly is bias of I don't care about those other two franchises. They didn't look interesting to me, whereas Fate of the Old Republic did look interesting to me. But I think also for me it is a difference in scope of like with Photor being this massive thing. But also, let's remember, I was critical of that too. I was like, "What? Like, it's crazy to be showing it this early." However, but it is a
Well,
good question of like, it sounds like
this is
a contradictory
It's it's
thing.
starting to set the standard for selling next gen consoles, I think, for certain titles
Mm,
too. Like,
sure.
they're far
and
away and it's gonna be a great PlayStation 6 game.
let's bring Highguard into this conversation. It's the last game that we have to
Yeah.
talk about as well, and it's a perfect
Yeah.
one on the subject of when to show your game, and what to show of it when you show it, I guess. And I think that the end answer here is that this will be a often debated topic until the end of time, and there will never be a correct answer because it's going to be
Sure.
different for every fucking studio, and it's going to be different for every fucking publisher and every individual team and every individual game, and there will always be so many variables that we will never hit the standard. We'll be able to look back on things retroactively and be like, damn, man, that turnaround from announcing Fallout 4 to Fallout 4 releasing 9 months later is like an absolute fucking banger. But these days, it would be impossible to really do that as efficiently as Fallout 4 did that, just because the scope of development has changed so fucking much. And realistically, the game development bubble that we're in right now is going to pop at some point in the next fucking 6 years,
Yeah.
and we will no longer be able to have 40-hour AAA games that take 9 years to develop. It's not
Sure.
remotely fucking able to be kept up with. There's a term I'm looking for here that I can't fucking find, but it's a fucking nightmare. But then you have games like Highguard that I think are maybe making the best case for chilling the fuck out, foot off the gas. Let's make our video game when it's ready to be shown and almost ready to go. When we are locked the fuck in for launch date, we blow the roof off of this thing. I think Highguard nailed it, and it's not getting enough credit this show.
I do like what they did a lot of like
I
it
don't think it
being
was
right around the corner. I just don't care about the game. Like it just doesn't speak to me of the games that I like. So for me, that's why I'm not excited for the game itself. But I do love that they ended with a game that is very imminent. I think that was a smart move, even though I don't care about how the game looked.
Jerica, I want to hear from you so bad about Highguard.
I mean, it looks fun to play. It just wasn't for me personally. It wasn't the best last one more thing. I think it should have been second to last, with Star Wars Fate being the last thing, and I think that could have put it in a better spot in my personal good graces of being cool. Because like we just have a certain expectation for the one more thing, and I know it doesn't hit every year. I just didn't expect that. And I love when it's announced that the game comes out like next month. I think that is really smart, and I love when that can actually happen. I think about Fallout 4 when it got announced and came out like a few months later. I think that I love that. I hate having to wait for games. I hate having to know about it forever and then be shown gameplay 3 years in a row and
Sure.
still not. I'm talking about Exodus here. Um, I don't know. Like I just think it needed to have a buddy at the end to have.
Yeah,
I might be in the minority here. It looks fun though. I'm gonna
I
play
think
it.
that there's probably an overestimation of how important this game was going to be to the general audience from like the internal team there. I think that they were expecting it to make more of a splash and it to resonate a little further as like this is that spiritual successor to Titanfall and Apex games that have been kind of consumed by EA at this point. Like Apex isn't in a good place, but when both of those games came out, so praised, so celebrated, like upon release, basically. To see this come back and have such an emphasis on like mobility and traversal through your world, and you're calling in different, not just a hero shooter, but you have like more impactful ultimates. It looked like they were calling it a mech at one point, not quite, more like a tank than a mech. I think that this game is very interesting to the people that it appeals to, but it is really tough. It's such a fucking fine line between what's the next Valorant and what's the next Concord.
I
Like,
know. And
you look at
that's
that.
the argument. That's the argument for someone like me, like that barely has enough time to play new games, and then also like I want to commit to Destiny, something that where all my friends are playing. So question yourself, where are all your friends playing? Like if you're playing Art Raiders, cool. Is this going to be something that pulls you away from that long enough? Like is this game going to get my attention? But I have seen that so many times where it's not working out, and that's why I'm nervous about it. I will just have to play it to find out. And the trailer
Listen,
no one's trailer solves that for me until I have a controller in my hand.
no. This might make me look so fucking foolish. And the chances of it making me look foolish is like 90%. And the chances of it making me look like a genius is like 10%. So I'm going to go for it and say that I actually think this might be the next fucking big thing. And I'm really, really in on it. And it might be like the game of the show for me because it feels like, and given the track record, when you look at like the launch of Apex Legends, which to me is the best launch of a free-to-play multiplayer game of all time. They fucking nailed it. This game came out of absolutely nowhere, free-to-play. You hopped in. And that is all anybody played multiplayer for months. And could be argued that it was in control of the Battle Royale universe for like 2 years.
Yeah.
The only thing that's really taken a stab at Fortnite ever, historically, from like the Battle Royale perspective, I think, since Fortnite kind of took the crown. And I just feel like when this game hits in late January, which all things considered for like big multiplayer games is kind of no man's land. Like this could be the thing where when you and 4 friends hop in and this game plays as tightly as Apex Legends with some interesting hero shooter stuff mixed in there that is a little bit more towards that Valorant side of things, I think this thing might fucking click, man. I think that this thing could be really big.
I hope so.
I mean,
I really do. I want something else to play. And to your point, Jake, like just something where I can play with 4 people is something that just it doesn't happen often, and it sucks because someone's always left out and we're having to figure out when to play. So like that does excite me. I hope so.
Yeah.
I think you could definitely be right, Jake, that this could be huge, because I think also something that this game is already doing well is it has a different visual identity with the magic and guns combo, where like there isn't a game in the space right now that I know of, because
riding on a panther.
No, for sure, yeah, it definitely it's
sick.
different, which is already one positive, because I think that was one thing that held Concord back, even though I did like Concord, of there was sameness of other things in it. But I think ultimately, from what I have witnessed among the competitive shooter space, as someone who doesn't actively participate, so maybe it's an ignorant take, but I feel like this game probably is made or broken on its game modes of like, is there more than just payload and whatever the other really popular mode is, like or is it going to be like gameplay light, or is there going to be a lot that you can do in it more than just like 2 or 3 things, is probably what could separate this from something that's huge right now.
I think
because I mean the pedigree is there already.
I'm interested to see like what kind of
testing.
Sorry, you go, and then like
I don't think. Continue, because now I like what you're saying more than what I was saying.
Like, because I'm curious, because like we've had 2 or 3, and I know it's a different type of game, but like marathon play testing, right? Man, that's pretty. Just thinking that hasn't happened with the general public also might be a good sign that they feel confident enough to launch this game without having like a weekend of testing where we're all hopping in. So I wonder if that will happen at all before.
It's telling me. What I'm reading here is that I don't think this game is going to even have like an early access like moniker put on it. I think that this game is just going to launch. And let's be honest, most games that launch not in early access are technically still in fucking early access anyway. Like games just launch in beta all the time these days. And I think, Patrick, you probably hit the nail on the head. And I don't think it's even just like feature or mode complete that this game needs to be. I think that these guys have a very good idea of what they need to come correct with. You have that pedigree of Apex Legends. You've seen things go very right, and then you've seen that very ship get steered into the fucking ocean floor, you know? And when you look at like the failures of Halo Infinite, it's not just game modes that are needed. It is like online multiplayer functionality. It is a constant influx of new maps, and there is a pipeline of like new skins and season content that is planned. I feel like all the way down to its very reveal, the launch of this game has been planned meticulously. That's the vibe that I'm
Yep.
getting from it. And I hope that they fucking hit the nail on the head. I hope that they're ready to deliver because I feel like the announcement delivers.
You got me
For
fucking
sure.
hyped now. I feel good. Since this conversation,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like, shit, you might be right. Now that we're just sort of reflecting on the historic facts here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
lead I'm with you, Jake. I feel it's
Let's
gonna
hop
happen.
in. Mark it down.
Hop
January
in.
26th, we're streaming it. Drop in, drop out or something like that.
Easy. I mean,
Easy.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, really, the only reason that I don't care is that it's just a genre I don't care about. Like, everything
Sure.
else looks good. This isn't
I
going to
just
be a game that I'm playing.
I've always enjoyed playing Apex more than Fortnite. Like, truly. Like, I feel like the gunplay is way better. Like, it's something I've always and like I played that more than Fortnite, like, for the longest. And if that can be evolved in any way, like, I am down to try it. I didn't give it enough love last night. I think it
Yeah.
was just because it was the one last thing, and I'm so sorry. I was
For
just
sure.
like where my brain was like so eager to be amazed by something. So
Yeah. Well, let's start wrapping up a little bit. So in terms of the predictions of announcements, the tally goes thusly. We're going to go from bottom to top, and you'll find out why in a second. Jordan, unfortunately, in last place with 12 correct predictions of the announcements. Kayla next with 14. After that was Cayman with 16, Jake with 17, and then in the top two slots with 18 points, Jerica came in second, and your boy with 19 correct predictions, Peach Wussy, in the pole position. However, there is technically the possibility of a tie. Now, if Rabbit hears this and then decides thusly it is moot, but you said 69, I said 420. We haven't gotten an official ruling from Rabbit on what he graded the show between a 69 and a 420. So if we get that answer from him, maybe we share the mantle with 19.
Didn't you give it a
each.
6.7?
Maybe. Well, he did say that earlier, but I think that was just a 6-7 joke potentially.
Fuck.
oh
Yeah.
I see.
But regardless, me and Jerica were at the top, and that's all that matters. All of the rest of you are
Rabbit,
dumpster
remember who
nuggets.
sent you a shirt? Just remember that.
That's true. That's true.
An incredible shirt.
Quick last thing. Was there anything not here that you guys either were surprised by or wish were here? Like for me, I wish Persona 6 had been here and it felt right.
I wish
but-
that would have been the best one last thing. Like
Yeah.
High Guard and then Persona 6. That would have been
I mean,
great.
we have Persona 4. Persona has their next AAA game on the docket already announced, and it's Persona 4
which I am
Reload or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know what happened, but Jeff's been in bed with Square Enix lately, and we didn't have an Octopath Zero fucking ad. We
yeah.
didn't have a Final Fantasy
right.
presence. We didn't have Kingdom Hearts. We didn't have Dragon. Like there is a long list of things that did not appear from one of the biggest AAA publishers in the world right now, and it is the only thing I think that screams absent to me.
No, that makes sense. Also, God of War. There's been so many rumors about God of War. I was surprised we didn't see that. But then it's like PlayStation doesn't often have a huge presence at the Game Awards.
There's a couple things too, and this is a longer conversation for a different podcast, maybe Spotlight sometime. But like, I think that we're going more towards like, I think they're pulling away from Jeff a little bit and pushing into their own things. Like, I think Ubisoft right now is scared because I was expecting to see them there as well with the rumored Prince of Persia reboot that's apparently ready to fucking launch next month, and Assassin's Creed 4 Resynced, which I would have expected one or two of them to be there at the very least. But I also think about like, I think Ubisoft's going to shadow drop
to be at a show like this.
Dude, okay, here's my prediction. I think we're going to see that Prince of Persia game shadow dropped at the Xbox Developer Direct in January. And here's why. I think fucking Ubisoft is terrified of press tours lately. The last two big games they had were Star Wars Outlaws and fucking Assassin's Creed Shadows, and things could not have gone worse for them in like the press. The fucking news on both of those games that dominated the headlines was like absurdly negative. So I think that that's the case, and I think that Sony needs wins so bad right now with their lackluster state of play spree that there's no way they're announcing a fucking God of War anywhere but their own show.
Keeping it, and I don't think a lot of.
That's a good point.
Maybe this year things are finally ready. Like something's got Wolverine has to be shown at the next showcase or state of play that they do. Like next big, like proper showcase.
Sure.
And I feel like Xbox is sort of in the same boat. Like I think they're holding a lot of stuff for whatever happens in the summer, or they're the developer streams that they do.
Overnight, by the way, Microsoft fucking with Variety put out a press release. They confirmed that developer direct, and they confirmed that Fable and fucking Forza were going to be there, which is insane.
Hell yeah! There you go.
Yeah.
They're like,
Nice.
nah, we're
January,
saving this
maybe.
for us. We need this.
Yeah.
When's that going to be?
Yeah.
It's usually like late January, probably like January 24th or something like that. They're like, this is going to be their 4th year doing it.
And lock it in. If it's not January 24th, Jake will be naked on camera on stream.
Okay, the 24th is a fucking Saturday. It's not going to be the 24th. Fuck my stupid life.
That's unfortunate for you and your stupid life.
Correct.
To bring in some of the audience, if you don't know, if you go to dropinddropoutpod.com, you can join the Discord. We ask discussion questions that we read on the show. Some of these are long, so I'm just gonna pull what grabs my eye. Coal Mines, in terms of announcement, Control Resonant looks amazing. Pragmatic getting a date and demo is fun. Which I agree on both of those for the awards. Very happy that Expedition 33 won 9 of the 10 awards they were nominated for. Gianni of the Content Mill says that overall not one of Jeff's better shows, unfortunately. Considered it dry. He said this year felt dry. Standouts in terms of announcements: Resident Evil 9, Tomb Raider, Coven of the Chicken Foot, my fucking dog, Orbital's Out of Words, and Control Resonant. Our own Kayla KG give it an A-. Coven of the Chicken Foot, my fucking dog. Fate of the Old Republic, Decrepit, Control Resonant, and High Guard were her standouts. And then finally, Sir Dr. JM, talking about Street Fighter. I see Heroic Head, you're typing. He's trying to sneak in. That naughty little boy trying to sneak in with a type right now. But I have clicked away. So maybe 5 subs and I'll read it. Any final thoughts from y'all?
No, good finale. I feel like to the year for announcements.
Hell yeah. It's not the finale because Drop and Dropout do be cooking. Next week we got the Secret Santa fucking jamboree, whatever we're calling it, Secret Santa special, where we gonna do some Christmas things. And then the following week, of course, we have the Innies. Maybe we tease some of the categories at some point between now and the 18th, just as like
that's a good idea.
People a little taste. Give them a taste.
Yeah.
He's one category right now.
How about the only one I'm thinking of is Best Hunk or Babe, which now I've said it, so that's the one I'm teasing, but it feels samey having Squanky choose whether they're more hunks or babes. Yeah, let's find a weird one real fast.
Find a weird one.
Yeah, we have better.
No one else has ever thought about rating.
How about this one? As I scroll to fill time.
Can I give my favorite one?
Are these? Yeah, go for it.
My favorite category is the Expedition 33 award for the game no one will shut the fuck up about next year, aka most anticipated.
Very good. We'll give one more. How about actually let's just stop there. Let's stop there with the Expedition 33. We don't want to give away too much. But that is a little tease for what the
they get more creative, even more than that, I would say.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Hubba.
And maybe some of you are name dropped in these awards. I guess you're gonna have to wait and find out. Thanks for being here, y'all. What a great showing for our first afternoon podcast. We rode at 20 the whole show, which is very, very cool. So thanks for the support, y'all. We will be back next week, but until then, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a good weekend. I hope all of your dreams come fucking true. All right. But until then, we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.